Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel GMB SHOW. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. As Stephen Mulhern is set to return to our screens this weekend with his latest television show, You Bet on Tour, many may be unaware of the difficult year the presenter has had. From losing his beloved father to collapsing in a restaurant, Stephen has continued to juggle his numerous hosting jobs and even took to the stage at the Royal Variety Performance. Now, the 48-year-old will be traveling across the country with a panel of celebrity guests for his new series. While Stephen presented You Bet with his friend and fellow Dancing on Ice host Holly Willoughby, this time he will be flying solo. A spokesperson for ITV told Radio Times that this was because Holly couldn't commit to the dates of filming the traveling series. In November, Stephen experienced a scare when out at a Pizza Express in Sunningdale. He suddenly collapsed and was taken to a hospital in Surrey by paramedics. A spokesperson later explained that the presenter had undergone a procedure requiring local anesthetic that morning. They told us, following the anesthetic that was administered, he had a few drinks which made him unwell, and he was taken into hospital as a precaution. He is now back home recovering. A spokesperson revealed that Stephen had just lost his father when the incident occurred. They explained, Stephen has had an incredibly tough time over the past few weeks. His beloved father recently passed away, which has hit him hard and has been understandably very stressful. In May this year, Stephen opened up about filming his new ITV show, The Accidental Tourist. He told The Mirror that the process took him totally out of his comfort zone and that viewers could expect to see a lot of emotion. The presenter opened up about the death of his father, Christopher, and how he wished he had been able to see the show when it came out. He said, "My dad had just passed away, so that's the only thing. I'm gutted that he didn't see it." While Stephen has kept his emotions around his father's death relatively private, he did share a touching moment while on stage at the Royal Variety Performance. After his magic act, the presenter said, "That was for you, Dad." Ahead of the new series of You Bet, Stephen said he was thrilled that the show was back. He added, "Each week I'll be joined by a top celeb panel as our challengers take on some brilliantly bonkers and amazing challenges. With the title of You Bet Champion on the line, it's going to be unbelievable from the start." The stage lights had always been Stephen Mulhern's armor. Under their glow, he was untouchable, confident, witty, and forever ready with a trick up his sleeve. But when he collapsed backstage one February evening, those lights flickered out. A sharp pain in his chest stole his breath, and the laughter of the studio dissolved into sirens and a frantic dash to hospital. For a man who prided himself on tireless energy, the sight of himself in a hospital gown tethered to monitors was surreal. The doctors spoke of exhaustion, of strain, of the years spent running from studio to studio without pause. Headlines screamed across tabloids the next day, "Stephen Mulhern in hospital scare." Fans flooded social media with worry, but Stephen's own fear was quieter, deeper. For the first time, he realized his body wasn't invincible. And then, when he thought he was slowly climbing out of that darkness, tragedy struck. His older brother James, his childhood hero, the one who had cheered his first magic tricks and teased him for still practicing them in the kitchen, died suddenly of a stroke. The phone call in the dead of night left Stephen frozen, staring into the silence, unable to believe the words. The funeral was a blur of black umbrellas and rain-soaked streets. Cameras waited outside, but inside, Stephen was just a grieving brother, clinging to memories that slipped like sand. His hospital dash had shaken him, but James's death shattered him. "It feels," he whispered to a close friend, "like I've lost half of myself." Grief spiraled into sleepless nights and long days where even laughter felt heavy. He returned to work, smiling for audiences, but backstage, the sparkle dulled. Friends like Bradley Walsh noticed the change. "Steve, you can't keep pouring from an empty cup," Bradley urged. But Stephen wasn't ready to listen. Work was his refuge, though it did little to heal. One evening, months later, he returned to his family home. His mother had packed James's belongings into boxes. Stephen sat on the carpet, pulling out an old deck of cards James had once bought him. Holding them, he wept until his mother placed her arms around him. "Don't let this break you," she said softly. "James would want you to shine." It was in that moment Stephen realized his brother's voice hadn't gone. It lived inside him. Slowly, he found light again. At a charity event, performing magic for children in hospital, he saw their faces beam, and something shifted. The gift his brother had believed in so fiercely still mattered. By year's end, Stephen had founded a charity in James's memory, dedicated to helping families struck by sudden loss. Standing before a crowd at its launch, he spoke honestly. This year took more than I ever thought I could bear, but it also taught me that love and laughter survive even the darkest times. That's what my brother gave me, and that's what I'll carry forward. The year from hell had scarred him, but it had also carved a deeper kind of strength.